Welcome back to the channel. It is Thursday. Yesterday, Zwift announced a couple of new features that are coming in the coming months, which we'll have a talk about in a little while. But it is Thursday, which means it is race day. Got about 20 minutes. Need to get Zwift loaded up, get myself changed and jump on the bike. I don't know how I'm going to take this one because I've got the 25 laps of the volcano on Sunday, and I didn't do very well in the ride on Tuesday night. So I'm not sure whether to go for this or not, or whether I'll fill up to it. I guess I'll just see how I feel when I get on the bike.
Right then, we're about to go in 10 seconds. As I said, I don't really know how I'm going to approach this yet. I'm just going to see where I am at a certain stage. I don't want to completely destroy my legs for Sunday, given how the ride was yesterday. But if I can stay with the group for a short period, and if I get pulled around, then I'll take advantage of it. Let's see, we've got a big group tonight. Nearly, I think 25 riders, if not a bit more, which is awesome. Let's go. I definitely missed the boat at the start there while I was ravaging on. I had to put out a couple of big bursts. Can't quite see because my face is in the way. To catch the group. I'm now hoping I've got enough just to stay with them for a bit. Take advantage of the draft and not fall off the back again. Let's see how it goes. So I'm currently managing to stay with this group. N. Robinson, D. Duncan, B. Dark, D. Gatsby, D. Howarth, me, and M. Reed. And A. Palmer is 6 seconds back. And 13 seconds back to J. Robinson and A. Evans. C. Cats, still about 55 seconds behind. Getting strung out here a bit. Just heading down towards the sprint. N. Robinson has decided to go for it. He's now 30 seconds ahead. And the first B's are caught up. The C's. The B's are 20 seconds behind. First C. It looks like they're all in a group together. The B's and the C's. Here come the B's and the C's on the hill. I've lost the D group a bit. Oh, I can't. Come on. Oh, I've gone. That hill, the D's had a gap on me, and the C's came through and completely blew the D Cata group apart. I couldn't stay with them. You see in my power graph now. It's just trying to put out what I can and then having to back off and try and go at a steady pace if I can. Got G Fat bike 12 seconds behind, running in the C's today. Eric with him, Seymour and C. Finlayson, and a little bit further back, M. Pearce, and then A. Evans is the nearest D-Cat behind me, 47 seconds back. So just gonna try and keep a consistent pace if I can. It's something I always struggle with. 1 lap done, 1 to go. Come on. Here comes Eric and G Fat Bike. Awesome racing, guys. Now, 8 seconds behind Jay Robinson in front of me. And I can only see that distance getting bigger. Oh, I can't get my breath tonight. Here goes Seymour, C. Finlayson. I don't know whether, I'm guessing Eric has stopped to give me a hand because there's no way I'd normally be keeping up with him. He's dropped back a bit, so thanks, Eric. Oh, no, the trainer's cut out. Am I back? Yes. Oh. Just had to restart my trainer for it to connect. I'm now well behind everybody. Oh, that's a bit of a shame. Maybe that's my trainer telling me to slow myself down to prepare for Sunday. How frustrating. I've never really had any problems with my trainer cutting out. My computer turning off, yes, and Zwift, but not my trainer. So anyway, I'm going to go around the rest of the route. 7 kilometres left to go. Let's have a jump forward and see where other people are. So, John Bushell at the front, C. Swan and C. White, N. Robinson all with him. And then 18 seconds back, C. Waring with Jill, MK, D. Stark. All the B-Cats together there. N. Corbin, 15 seconds behind. With then that big group of Ds. Look at that. That's so good to see. D. Stark, A. Pimer, S. Pye, M. Reed, D. Gatsby, D. Duncan. Then G. Fat Bike. Nearly 30 seconds behind with Jay Robinson and D. Howarth. Eric has taken a slight lead over Craig and Seymour. Then M. Pearce, A. Evans, myself, and Peak Rhino 20 seconds back and catching quick. I better get on it. Right, got to the top of that little climb. Let's, just missed the end. Oh, how irritating. Let's jump and see if I can catch some of it. Jay Robinson with C. Finlayson just in front. Is there going to be a sprint to the line? Oh, I'm gutted I missed the end. I thought of all weeks this was my chance. Missed it by seconds. Hopefully I can see the line. Racing down to the bottom. C. Finlayson just keeping his lead. Up in the 3 watts per kilogram. D Howarth 14 seconds back. It's not a particularly good camera angle, but I don't have my keyboard this side of the room to move it. Here they come. It looks like that's going to go to Craig, and it has. I can't see the finish line, but he's turned grey. Let's go back to me. So next over the line will be D Howarth and Seymour. D Howarth over the line. Seymour, M Pearce is the next. Then A Evans. And then if I can keep it going, I might just keep Peak Rhino behind. Let's see. It's making up some good time though. And you can see along the bottom that I'm just trying to keep it practice some green and blue zone. And I went with the orange and the red while I was going up the hill because I fancied a bit of a blast, but just trying to keep myself steady now, because that's clearly what I need to practice. All right, there we go then. Over the line. Peak Rhino got that gap down to about 6 seconds at one point. I had to put out a bit of a burst to keep the gap, but I thought, still didn't think I'd do enough, but great racing. Well, technical difficulties do not make for a good race. However, let's have a look. See how everybody else has got on. Jay Bushell wins it with a 17-second gap over C. White at the end. Watts per kilogram though. C. White 3.9 watts per kilogram. John 3.7. Average heart rate of 185. I got up towards the 180s and I was gone. That's crazy. C. Swan in third. B. Cat, so that's all the B. Cats winning the race. N. Robinson, C. Cat fourth. C. Waring in fifth. Let's put me up there. Where were we? C. Waring in fifth. D. Stark, a little way back, in sixth. B. Cat Rider. Jill in seventh, 33.47, so a second behind D. Stark. N. Corbin. Look at that, must have been a right. I'm so annoyed I missed it. Great race to the line there, all within a second of each other. N. Corbin in eighth. MK in ninth. And then Eric, well, you're not racing tonight? I don't know. Normally you're near the front. S. Pye 2 seconds behind with M. Mead. I think the first D-Cat rider over the line there. Have I got that right? Yes. M. Reed, and the second behind A. Pimer. B. Dark, another second back with Dirk Gatsby in 15th. Again, it must have been a great sprint to the line. D. Duncombe, 16th. And then G. Fatbike riding, I think, for the first time in the C's today. 36.02, great racing. C. Finlayson, 36.14. 3 seconds behind him, J. Robinson in 19th. D. Howarth, 20th. God, we've got lots of people today to cover off. It's great, isn't it? Seymour, 21st, 36.39. Just a few seconds behind D. Howarth. And then M. Pearce in 22nd. A. Evans, 23rd. Myself, 41.29 in 24th. And P. Krynor, 10 seconds behind in the end. But I genuinely thought you'd catch me at some point. And my heart rate is so low because that's cut out as well. I think, I'm not sure whether it's the trainer or whether my USB extender thing is just cut out. Because I lost camera, trainer, and heart rate monitor all at the same time. So I'm guessing something's just cut out on that. But more technical frustrations. But maybe it was for the best because it meant I didn't go too nuts for the second lap. Another ride where I didn't feel It's a bit unfair to say I didn't feel particularly strong because I tried to stay with the decat as long as I could, and I achieved that. And it was just that little climb that I just lost the back. I didn't have quite enough legs to give the push when the C-cat came through to keep up. So I don't know, but I do feel that even the lower level riding is slightly more difficult than it was. I don't feel quite as fit and as in form as I have been recently. So it's something to think about. But great racing, everybody. Great to see some good numbers. Hopefully they continue to grow through the winter. But yeah, I'm going to do my usual shower, dinner, and then we'll catch up later.
Such a shame that my trainer cut out halfway through that race. I don't know what caused it. I seem to lose everything on my USB extender. I lost the camera for a moment, and my heart rate monitor and some other stuff, which all connect to the USB connector. So I don't know what it was. I've changed the port on the back of my PC now just to see if that makes any difference. Never had that issue before, so touch wood, never get it again. But I'd already fallen behind in the race by that point, to be honest, and I lost the decat. It was so good to have a big decat group, and I just lost the back of the decat just before hitting the S's on the first lap. And then the B's and the C's came through, and I didn't move quick enough to try and stay with them to catch up with the D's. And by that point, I'd lost any chance of keeping up. So I think that was just, from that point, decision, back off slightly, take it slightly easier, ready for Sunday, and then obviously the trainer cut out. So from that point, it was just a bit of a ride around. But another great race. There's some really close racing in the results there, and it's great to see good numbers. And I know Eric afterwards said that as the only ACAT rider, he basically gave up chasing because the groups were too big for him to try and catch up with. So that's a bit of a shame. We don't really have any other ACAT riders to join in and give him a hand. And I'm sure we'll see how it goes over the next few weeks. But it was great to have some close racing again, and I really enjoyed that. So just a shame I had the issues. But something that's far more exciting than the race. Zwift on a couple of days ago announced a few new things that are coming. And they're actually quite exciting. I'm really looking forward to. They've put an extension onto the Mercury Islands, a new one that's going to be called Nyokyo, which looks really, really cool. I'll put a picture up now, like neon lights and fluorescent stuff, and it looked awesome. And the map has lots of windy little bits in different places as well. And it's going to connect to, I think I'm saying this right, the Umezi Island that we already have. And they're going to make those islands, is my understanding, into sort of a hub, just like Watopia is, with different areas. And I think that's a brilliant idea. I actually really like the new area that they're creating. And I believe a climb up possibly Mount Fuji is coming. So it's the first step towards that. I'm guessing the new rides, because they're going to be, they look like a city centre, are probably going to be the flat rides. And we might have to wait a little while for the long rides. But hopefully within that, we'll end up with some routes that cut across the two new worlds, or the two new islands, so that we can have some longer rides through them. So I'm really looking forward to that. Another big announcement that they made is the user interface is going to change. And the way that you search for activities, your personal activities, you can see better in game, which looks awesome. And the ability to search for future races and rides and that sort of thing, and a route browser to see what routes that you can actually tick off and achieve. Because I mean, I don't think Zwift have really changed the way you do it at the moment. It's a bit of a clunky interface, so being able to have all of that in one place on the Zwift start screen when you log in, I think is an awesome step forward. So I'm looking forward to see what that looks like. I believe the new expansion is going to be coming towards the end of November. That's usually apparently when they sort of release the next tell people about it coming, and then the next release is sort of the third week of the following month. Not sure about the user interface, but one that I am super excited about, being a group organizer and setting up group rides and stuff, is now hopefully, fingers crossed, the clubs functionality, which some people have had access to in the beta form as it is, but as I understand it, it doesn't really give you much functionality. You can sort of see some activities in there, but it doesn't give you what you'd want from clubs. They've said that it's coming early 2022, and you'll be able to join clubs, whether that's free to join or invite only or request to join. You can go into a club, and that club can set up their group rides regularly, races, whatever it may be you want to set up. You can set ride leads and sweeps and things like that. I am super excited about that, because it means that as good as Spond has been setting up our rides, we also obviously have the Google Forms. I think for newer people to Zwift, it's slightly more difficult to get your head around how to get an invite to a ride, because meetups are done in a completely different way. So I think having the club's functionality, people can join the club and then know when our events are, guessing on a schedule or on a list. I don't know what it'll look like, but join up to those rides. You have the categories that you can set as well. So it's that part that feels missing as a smaller group organizer, that I know the big groups obviously have direct interaction with Zwift, and you can do it without needing to contact Zwift to set up your rides or races. So who knows how good it will be? Who knows if it will all be released at the same time? It might just be that they've released it, you could join a club, but extra bits are coming. So I'm not getting myself too excited, but I feel that it will really help the T2.5 group and community to set up rides and join races and stuff. So keep your fingers crossed for that one, early 2022, which actually isn't too far to wait now. So hopefully it is what we need. But it is Saturday night now. We had a brilliant day out today as a family. I don't feel we've spent much time, just the three of us, for a little while. We went out, got a bit of shopping, came back home, we jumped in the hot tub for about half an hour, had some dinner together, and sat and watched the first sort of hour of Harry Potter, which my little one has never seen before. It's time for her to get into the world. My wife loves Harry Potter, so I feel that she's old enough to watch the first couple of films now. So we'll finish those off probably tomorrow or on half time next week. But it was really nice to get some time to chill out, which feels I haven't had for the last couple of weeks. Tomorrow isn't really going to be a chill out. 25 laps of the volcano. Slightly feeling underprepared, but I also feel that I look back on that video that I did a long time ago about the Out to Zwift, and that gives me knowledge that if I can do that, knowing the pain that I went through to do it, I should be able to do tomorrow, even if it does hurt. So gonna have an early night, make sure I'm rested and fully ready to go tomorrow. I've got some, some bits, some sweets, some protein bars and all sorts ready to fuel myself for that ride. But that obviously will be in Wednesday's vlog. This week's rides we have on Tuesday, the Tuesday Trundle, which is our unbanded hour-long ride. That's the one I struggled to keep up with last week. Runs between 1.5 watts per kilogram and 2, depending on the riders that come along. Then Thursday night this week is our handicap race. That's where we adjust our weight so that our FTP divided by our weight in kilograms equals 2.5, so that we all start from a 2.5 watts per kilogram base. I'm not sure what course we'll do, whether we go hilly or flat this week, but it's the one that we do every month, and it's probably my favourite race that we do. And then Saturday will be our group ride. That's the bandy group ride that we do on Saturday morning for an hour. All get on Discord and have a catch up and a chat, which is more of a casual ride. And then Sunday is the last Sunday of the month, which means we usually do a long banded group ride. I haven't decided on a route yet, but we will probably do that as well. So keep a lookout for all of these rides. If you want to sign up, they're in the links below, either to the Google Forms, where you'll be able to pick and choose the rides you want to come to, or if you're on Spond or want to become a member of Spond, sign up below and then you'll get an instant notification when I send out those ride invites. So that is the end of this video. Keep an eye out for the video on Wednesday for hopefully the completion of the 25 laps of the volcano. If you have enjoyed this one, do hit like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on Wednesday.